There we go. So good well, it's still good morning technically. And the previous panel kind of stole our thunder a little bit. I'd say they did. But AI is so vast and it's moving a mile a minute, so there's always more to talk about. And I'm lucky enough to be sitting here today with 3 panelists who are using artificial intelligence in 3 very different ways. From physical AI to robotics AI to task-driven AI. I think this serves as a wonderful deeper dive into how artificial intelligence is best complementing human intelligence. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with introductions, of course, but as you're introducing yourselves and your business platform, can you tell us a little bit about how it is that you are using artificial intelligence in your business? And Todd, we're going to go ahead and start with you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Womble, the CEO of Savannah Logistics Group. Founded the company in 2017. Today we have about 120 employees and contractors. Of course, we're based in Savannah. We have about 300,000 square feet of warehouse space. Have a really diverse portfolio of logistics solutions. And we use AI on a daily basis. We've really started over the last few months of incorporating AI across all departments in our business. And in logistics, we have a lot of different departments, from safety and compliance to, operations, our transportation management, our warehouse management. And what we've seen with AI is its ability to streamline a lot of what we do on a day-to-day basis. We call it the whirlwind. So you have all these whirlwind items that you're doing every single day just to keep your business moving. And so what we've seen AI do is really enhance what we're doing. So it allows our people to get outside the whirlwind and really work on things that move our business forward. For safety and compliance, our goal this year was to be the safest carrier on the road. AI's certainly helping us in that area. It's helped allow us to identify what are the behaviors that cause the most accidents. And what we can do is we can now, minute by minute, we're tracking driver behavior. What's he doing on the road, from an erratic lane change, following distance, speeding, things of that nature. So that's just a small piece of what we're doing with AI. So thank you for having me.
Small but significant. Elizabeth, you're in creative services. So tell us a little bit about you, your business platform, and how you're employing the use of AI.
Hello, welcome to Macon. We're glad to have y'all here. I'm a small business owner here. My husband and I also own our local bicycle shop right downtown on 2nd Street. So bicycle service, repair, and sales. And I run a creative consultancy where I help plumbers, attorneys, Fall Line Brewing Company with their branding, marketing, and strategy. We're using AI really as a team member, myself and my clients. Everything from content creation, brainstorming, ideas, really seeing as just another person in the room and interacting with it in that way, mostly. So.
Wonderful. And Jenny, very interesting. We had the pleasure of meeting virtually just a few days ago, actually, and I learned that Jenny is using robotics in cleaning services, which I find fascinating, and I want to sign up immediately. Could you tell us a little bit about your business platform and how you are employing the use of AI?
Absolutely. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. I'm Jenny Savelle. I'm the CEO of Bishop Clean Care. We are a 3rd-generation commercial and residential cleaning company. We have about 75 employees. And my business partner and I are engineers by trade, so we kind of naturally gravitates towards new apps, new technology, the latest technology, and process improvement. So that is always something that we'll continue to do. So AI is really creeping into our business without you really knowing it, whether it's marketing or virtual assistants. But the biggest impact we've seen is really using robotic, autonomous cleaning equipment in our operations, and really using that solution to help our other customers trying to cover all the cleaning spaces.
So like a giant Roomba?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So yes, in the sense that it does autonomously clean. No, in the sense that it is much more intelligent and also higher capacity to be able to handle the larger facilities and also navigate in different scenarios and paths. So,
Which then, if I'm understanding correctly, enables you, your team, and your business as a whole to grow your business, take on more customers and clients because you are making more efficient work of it.
correct.
Awesome. So I'm going to stick with Jenny for a second, and then we're going to come back around with this question. But productivity, obviously, being a big driver, a technological background being another driver for you. Were there any other challenges you were facing as a business owner that you were hoping to address through the utilization of artificial intelligence?
So a majority of our business is janitorial, and almost 50% of cleaning a facility includes floor cleaning. So that is the most tedious, labor-intensive work that we experience. And shortly after 2020, we have really struggled to find labor for custodians. And of course, process improvement, right? We're constantly trying to find better ways to improve our retention, our training, our recruitment, but we just really did not see the outcome that we were hoping for. So we decided we really need to think outside the box and really try to automate a majority of our cleaning operation, which is the floor cleaning. And that's when we started to look into solutions for automation, that's the robotic floor cleaning equipment. And since then, we have started a division of our company called Cobotics that provides this cleaning solution autonomously for our customers. So we started selling autonomous robotic cleaning equipment to other customers.
Again, sign me up. Elizabeth, coming back to you on the same question, essentially. So I'm with the Chamber of Commerce, and I get the many hats that are worn for small businesses when it comes to creative marketing, communicating, etc. So I feel like this might be an obvious question, but let's take a deeper spin on it. What prompted you? What challenges, aside from being stretched far too thin, were you seeking to overcome through your implementation of artificial intelligence? And where'd you start with that?
For one thing, we started just because it's kind of the new hot thing that's happening, and we have to always be ready to answer questions for our clients and experiment with it ourselves. I heard yesterday that AI is about where the iPhone was in 2008. So if you all think back to 2008, probably there were a lot of Blackberries in the room, and now everybody's transitioned. That's where we're headed. So, just trying and experimenting with it. You're exactly right. All of the hats that business owners wear, you've got to find ways to do things faster and quicker and shorten that time of waiting on someone else to do it, and being able to just do it quickly is of utmost importance.
So super quick sidebar on that. How many times a day would you say you touch artificial intelligence
All
in
day
your work?
long, personally and professionally.
Same. Same. It has become my right hand, my left hand, and my ears. All right, Todd, same question to you, though. So you're using it in a bit of a different way, but I assume there is some overlap in all three panelists here. What challenges initially were you looking to overcome when considering?
Well, in full disclosure, I loved my BlackBerry. Yeah, so for us, we just, we're always, we pride ourselves in being innovative and, trying to be on the forefront of what's new and exciting and what's going to move our business. For us, we handle about 750 shipments a week that someone has to enter orders for those shipments, communicate with customers, track vessels coming into the port of Savannah, things of that nature. And, now AI can do all of those things that was really burdensome on our workforce. And again, like I said earlier, it allows our people to focus on things that really drive the business forward. Customer relationships, driver relationships, relationships amongst our staff. So it frees up time to do things that we feel like move the business forward.
And there's a tremendous amount of sensitivity when you reference people and artificial intelligence because, there's a general sentiment out there like, AI is going to replace all people, which is why I'm very careful to look at it as a companion piece to human intelligence. But Todd, on that note, has your business realized any of that sort of replacement just out of curiosity, or are all your employees still in place?
No, all of our employees are still in place. And what we're going to use it for is that customer service rep. Well, someone mentioned earlier, we are in the relationship business. So that customer that we're doing business with, what's their work anniversary? What's their wedding anniversary? What's their birthday? So our CSRs, they're freed up enough to start to know that person on a deeper level. Our fleet managers are able to know our drivers on a deeper level because they're not so bogged down with the whirlwind. So we're using it to enhance what our employees are doing, and that's what we see AI doing for our business.
Okay, so it's enhancing not just the logistics side of thing, but the people management side of thing. Wonderful. Elizabeth, question for you. In adopting AI, so again, if I imagine you're anything like me, you just started. You just kind of jumped in there. But as far as hurdles, we've all faced them. We've had to train ourselves to train AI, so to speak. Give me a couple of your largest hurdles in trying to streamline the use of AI and make AI truly work for you.
We found that, treating it like a team member is the most powerful way to work with it. With that, knowing that it's not going to be perfect, it still needs some oversight. And if you think of it as an eager intern or a new team member who is new to your world and has to learn about you and learn about your business, and so you do have to train it. But at the same time, it learns. And so you can say, in Macon, we talk this way, and it will remember that the next time it, creates something for you. Or you can also use it to get other perspectives. So you can ask it, what would someone in Florida think, that kind of a thing. I think the biggest hurdle is just realizing you've just got to experiment with it and try it and ask it for direction and not trust it completely kind of all at the same time because it is still so early.
That's a very valid point, and we have these conversations often. And Jennifer, we've had this conversation. The effectiveness of many of the artificial intelligence tools out there, especially those who are going to be, or which will be, of such great benefit to small to mid-sized business owners, do require the time on the front end in your prompts, in how you train it, and how you help it understand who you are, regardless of the platform and the audience you're trying to reach and why. And yes, sometimes you have to tell it no yapping, because it does like to go on. But same question to you, Jenny.
I would definitely echo what Elizabeth said. And that's part of the reason our division is called Cobotics, because it is a co-working environment and concept that you have to adapt to. So essentially, these robots that we started using, we kind of expanded into other service bots like delivery bots, because really the concept is what you're trying to solve and the application is different, but the solution is the same. It's really letting the bots take care of the dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs, whatever that is. And you, the person, are freed up to do the more creative, dynamic tasks that you get to free up to do. So it's a new concept. you don't want to come in and feel like the bot is completely taking over my job. It is there to assist you to do your job better. So that's a new concept of how you work and how you approach it. And that's a hurdle.
So Jenny, back to that for a second. So the introduction of the robotics to your team. Your team existed before the robotics existed. What did that introduction look like? What were some of the initial challenges or even some of the initial, dare I say, failures, and how you needed to kind of redirect to reintroduce that? Because I see that as being something very significant when you have an established business platform and now you're bringing, whether robotic or otherwise, into the mix, you're bringing a whole new element in. Could you tell us a little bit about what that kind of day one, week one, ground zero type scenario looked like for y'all?
Definitely challenges there. So I think what we've seen a lot is some people are actually afraid of touching the robots. Like, what is this, right? And others are like, oh, is it taking over my job? And really the answer is, it is a scrubber or a vacuum just like what you already have, except it has a brain. And secondly, it's not taking your job, it is helping you to do your job better and lighten your job. A lot of times we tell people or we educate people that it's a labor upscale, right? You're a custodian and your job entails of, toilet cleaning, mopping, sweeping, all the above. But now you're a custodian who works with robots where you can be cleaning or dusting while this robot you're managing is cleaning the floor for you. So it is a new approach to how you work. It is not a replacement, and it's a better way of working. And honestly, I feel like it's the future of our workforce.
And that's a really relevant point, and you want to retain your employees, of course, but wait, what a great resume addition.
Absolutely.
Not only have I done this, but I've done it integrated with robots. Like, you're now a step above in the industry, right? Thank you for sharing that. Elizabeth, I'm going to pop back to you as we make our way back to Todd. What advice would you give small business owners who are curious or interested in adopting AI but don't know where to start?
So what you're just talking about, something that I speak with my clients about when they start to feel a little uncomfortable about using ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these other chat bots, remember that we used to get around with by horse and carriage. And to think about the business owner who bought 100 horses the day before the automobile came out and how that changed everything. And, really encourage them to give it a try. Download ChatGPT, try these other Google tools. Even just personally, talk to it about what you want to do this weekend, what's happening in your own town. Use it on a personal level first to kind of get familiar with it and play around with it. And then you'll start to see ways that it can help you in your business.
And would it be fair to add, don't necessarily limit yourself? I mean, there are resources upon resources upon resources of AI tools out there, each one of them specializing in or doing something just a little bit better than the other. I've dabbled, and we have certain ones that we use that, they might be good at one thing, but not so much on the other, or if I'm not a fan of ChatGPT graphics, I'll go over to Gemini, for example. So essentially what you're saying, dip your toes into the waters, experiment, figure out what you need it to do, carry on.
For sure. And you take advantage of it. I mean, we have at our fingertips the knowledge and resources to learn all about it. It's incredible.
Well, and I'm afraid we just don't give enough credence to the fact that we've been using AI, whether we like it or not. It's what autocorrects on our phone. It's what helped us get here today. AI has been here. We're just learning how to, again, adapt to it. So, Todd, the same question to you because of your industry specifically. in logistics is if you have somebody who's using it in similar applications, how do you advise that they even crack that door open?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of research. I think what I would encourage entrepreneurs to do is, don't let it poison your culture. So don't let your employees walk around with this fear that I'm not going to have a job tomorrow. So what we did was we made our employees part of the process. So we have a lot of different software platforms across our company because we have warehouse management systems and transportation management systems and safety and compliance systems. And what we've seen is a shift where you're seeing these companies embed AI within the existing software. So what we did was each department that dealt with those different software platforms, hey, let them be part of the meetings. They know exactly what it needs to do. They know what bogs them down. Make your team and make your employees part of the process, and then they take some ownership in it, and they're proud of what they created. So that would be my biggest thing, is because it can be a culture killer if it's not rolled out and presented in the right way.
If they write it, they'll underwrite it, right? Yep. So how do you evaluate? I guess as we're going to go kind of round robin, all three of y'all on this question, and how you're evaluating whether or not your AI tools are actually providing value to your business. But if you would just give a count, when did you implement it, as you're answering that question, to be specific? Because your answer may be, well, I don't know yet. So Todd, when did you implement it, and how do you measure value?
Yeah, so we've been using AI for roughly a little over a year now, and over this last year, we've implemented it again across multiple platforms of software within our company. For us, we can see it instantly just based on, obviously, it's feeding us data based on driver behavior, customer behavior, employee behavior. So we see it day in, day out. We know what it's doing. It's showing it to us in real time.
Immediate return. Elizabeth, how about you?
I would say the same. We've been building websites for years, and those are projects that sometimes would get just totally stalled for months and months and months due to waiting on someone to finish their bio or let's write that about us page and things like that. And now we're finishing building full websites in a month or two. It's just completely revolutionized that part of our industry, and it just. I'm seeing, I think, business owners coming back with second, third businesses, ideas, new concepts, things like that, because they now have this tool to help us, create these new initiatives or names, or it's just making everything faster and easier and better.
Yay!
And I can attest to that. I mean, we built a website a few years ago, and it was to tie me down in a room to find time to give them content to put on the website, things of that nature. Yeah, I can certainly.
Well, and honestly, we're all guilty of it, to regurgitate a lot of what we think should be on a website, founded in 1927. So if nothing else, to help generate ideas, to liven your content up a little bit, make everything a little bit fresher. Same question to you. When did you start utilizing it, and did you see immediate return?
So we deployed our first autonomous scrubber at our local airport about over 2 years ago. Oh. So that's when we first started using robotic solution. And definitely in two ways. Not only it's taking on the job that we have a hard time filling, right, cleaning the floors. That's a very obvious result. Also, one thing about cleaning floors, whether it's at home or in your office, you know that not every single square footage of your floor is being cleaned, right? There's a lot of spot cleaning going on. So one thing about these robots is once you map them, it is not going to skip. It is always going to show up, and it will show you exactly when, where, how it cleaned. So the accountability and the reporting is so powerful for us to not only visually see it being a cleaner facility, but also knowing that this carpet was sustained longer because it's being vacuumed every square footage. So in all those aspects, it's improving the service.
Excellent. And I know we're running shy on time. I could talk about this all day. But let's for our audience, starting with you, Jenny, and working our way back, what trends are you watching in artificial intelligence?
I think it's such a wide spectrum of AI. It's hard to pin down, but I do think, at least for our business, we're looking into more virtual and verbal assistants to help not only external but internal customers of ours.
Okay. Elizabeth, what you looking
I'm
at?
seeing, where they're integrating AI in the tools that I'm using so that it's coming to me instead of me having to use it as a separate tool. I'm liking where it's just showing up nice and easy along the way, which is nice.
And Todd?
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of watching it evolve, right? It's moving at such a rapid pace. It's like, what's coming next? And, and what are they rolling out that's really going to enhance our business? So now we're kind of reevaluating as we've rolled out a round of AI. Now we're reevaluating, okay, what are some other areas that might be eating up time or not allowing us to focus on moving the business forward? And, is there a product available for that yet? Or is it evolving? Is it coming? Can we help someone develop that? So it's kind of where we're at.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we hope this was instructive in some form or fashion. I know that everybody on this panel, including myself, is always available to anyone because we love to talk about this topic. So thank you for your time and attention. And I think an overarching takeaway today is you don't have to go big or go home. Start small, start somewhere, start exploring, and I think there will be just broad horizons open to you if artificial intelligence is not something you're already pulling into your workspace. So again, I'm Susan Kraut. Thank you so much for the opportunity to moderate this panel. Again, AI is a passion of mine, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you to Todd, Elizabeth, and Jenny.